from being the champions of the Prudential Cup to 2023 World Cup and not even qualifying.
I saw one of the most atrocious reviews I have seen in a long time. I don't know what.
Good, but I feel for Shikhar. I love you, Shikhar. Love the reels, love the content.
Before the Test series started, everyone knew that West Indies didn't have a chance.
I wanted worst possible outcome for both cricketing nations.
Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of Off the Pitch. We're back with our two favorite constant guests. No new people.
One is the expert, one is here because he's just free.
He's the one who's free. I'm the expert.
Guys, please go ahead and watch the quiz. See how he gets thrashed. Who has good cricket knowledge? You guys know.
Quizzes are not indicative of anything. Okay, now is the real discussion.
Okay, let's.
But I like the cross promotion. Good job with promoting the first video.
Always.
We will link it
In the description. Also click ऊपर. ये जो video दिख रहा है ना यहाँ पे, हाँ उधर click करो.
We will link it somewhere.
Yes.
We will try to link it down, otherwise we put it in the description. Please reintroduce yourselves.
This is Rahul. He knows nothing about cricket, and this is Suvigya. I know little about cricket, a lot about movies, not really, but yeah, I have a movie channel. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about movies, so you can go check that out also.
Yep, my name is Rahul Longani. I love cricket. I just like criticizing cricketers on WhatsApp groups. Right, and I like to watch the game with my friends, and yep. That's
You like to watch the game with your friends?
Yeah, I've watched almost so many games.
Okay, recited हो गया तेरा class
I will put up a screenshot over here from the group where he said if we're sitting and watching an IPL match, I am not coming for the game. So in this episode, we're going to talk about West Indies cricket and how they went from being the champions of the Prudential Cup to 2023 World Cup and not even qualifying. And the India-West Indies Test series, where basically even before the Test series started, everyone knew that West Indies didn't have a chance. So
yeah, I have to say it's very sad. Yeah, also about West Indies cricket, like.
Yeah, but I couldn't agree more. It's very disheartening to see a team, when you believe that this team can win any game, right? From Carlos Brathwaite hitting those 4 sixes to Ben Stokes, having or producing players like Chris Gayle, Dwayne Bravo, like these legends have come up from West Indies cricket, and now seeing them down and out, not even qualifying for cricket is definitely disheartening.
Yeah, legends, and you're thinking of more recent people, like think of back in 83 when we defeated them when they were like 2 times, 3 times consecutive champions, and तब से लेके अब तक क्या हालत हुआ है. Like there are so many interviews where those cricketing legends are so disappointed, and like rightfully, मतलब like they have so many issues, and it's not been a like ऐसे randomly उनकी team खराब नहीं होगी. It has been a gradual downfall. Like we've seen it over the years. Like
yeah, and West Indies still does produce some really good talent. We saw Kyle Mayers, we see Akil Hussain. They are still producing some serious talent. I think it's not really a people problem or a talent issue with West Indies. It's just that they're playing together as a team and really doing well in particular games. It's just that they're making too many mistakes. Right? That game against Netherlands, I think that wasn't to be lost. You score above 300, you lose in a super over against Netherlands. Now you expect West Indies to take it home after how they batted in the first innings. Nick P scored 100. You had Johnson Charles scoring the runs. You have Brandon King scoring the runs. They have the runs, right? But again, you expect these teams after such good performances to take the team home, right? And they were unable to do it, which is again disheartening. So, yep, it's not about the talent to some extent, is what I feel.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, it's
not about the talent. Sorry.
So I was going to come to this, right, where I feel like what they lack is a star player. Like I know, like if I'm watching India play, I know Virat Kohli is out there batting. I know he'll take us home. Or say if I'm watching a test match, I know Ashwin is bowling and we have to like say take 2 wickets or 3 wickets in a certain time span. I know Ashwin can do it. I feel like West Indies had that a while back with Viv Richards or Brian Lara. I feel like they lack a star player or basically a trustable, bankable player who can hold the team together.
So I'm not sure. Okay, yes, they definitely lacked like a leadership, like someone who can carry the team on their back. But I did some research before coming here because I knew we were going to talk about this.
Wow.
And to
pointers and all
Yeah,
in his notes.
I have it all saved here, guys.
yeah, as established, मैं cricket expert नहीं हूँ, तो मुझे research करनी पड़ी. But हाँ, so to your point actually, this is a list of the major players from the West Indies squad that played IPL 2023 and the World Cup qualifiers. Rovman Powell, who played for DC, was a part of the squad. Romario Shepherd and Nicholas Pooran, who were part of LSG, were also part of the squad.
Mayers?
Jason Holder, Kyle Mayers, and Alzari Joseph, all three like very important players in their respective all 6 very important players in their respective teams in the IPL. The point being that it's not like they don't have good players, because if they weren't good, they would not be playing at what is arguably the toughest competition in the world, like the toughest level of competition in the world.
Definitely, and just to add to that, right, when we talk about a bankable player, I think Shea Hope, I mean in ODI he has staggering records. I mean this guy is definitely bankable with the bat when it comes to 50 over cricket, right? I think where they are lacking is depth, experience in bowling, right? I mean you score above 300 and you have to defend that, right? I mean your batsmen are doing well. Today we see Nicholas Pooran, the form he was in IPL, he did score a lot of runs in the qualifiers, right? And you have Hetmar in the wings. Again, there are various issues as to why he's not playing. But I mean, they do have those batsmen.
He's back in the squad, by the way. Today, they just announced today.
I was gonna go back to that later. Basically, like the issues with the board, where you go for something as important as a World Cup, and then you say we are not gonna take Hetmeyer because he missed the flight. And then like,
मतलब क्या सोच के उसको टीम में नहीं लिया, मैं तो I'll never understand.
Yeah, I think Hetmeyer would have been okay to spend the money himself and come to play.
He was very okay with doing that.
Rajasthan would have spent the money for him, I feel, like just to retain him.
And to be honest, come what may, right? It's not about Hetmeyer missing out and because of Hetmeyer they have lost, right? It's all about as a team, have they clicked at that particular moment? The answer is no.
And they haven't for 20-30 years now. It's been a while. Like we have, this is the weird part of it. We have IPL legends, like IPL Hall of Famers who are from West Indies, and yet West Indies has only shown glimpses of that in international cricket. Like it makes no sense to me that 2016 T20 winners did not qualify for the 2022 World Cup and the 2023 World Cup. Like it is baffling to me.
Yeah, I mean it's safe to say they are down and out. I mean they've hit rock bottom. But having said that, I do feel the team is talented enough. It's not
100%. I mean, like I said, मतलब अगर talent नहीं होता तो ये लोग IPL में नहीं खेल रहे हो.
Right.
Those teams, franchises would not be spending the big
that
bucks.
money. Yeah, for sure.
And my last take on this, like if we touch up on the board issues, I'm sure there are a lot actually. What I had written down, obviously that the board doesn't have great relations with some of the key players like Narayan and Russell, who are constantly playing franchise cricket, have not played for their country since like 4-5 years now.
Yeah, and they haven't even retired. Like they haven't retired.
And they have no intention of retiring also.
Exactly.
And I also heard Russell say that he's okay to come and play the T20 World Cup next year.
Yeah,
I did hear that. Again, see, look, it's not that tomorrow Russell will come and West Indies will qualify, right?
Like he's probably past his prime. He's a great player and all, but it's the fact that you at the time your best players you are not maintaining really. Like it's like BCCI telling Rohit, Virat, Shikhar, everyone to go warm the bench, not play. You missed a flight, तो नहीं खेलोगे.
He felt it with Shikhar.
That's why मेरे को पता है रोहित विराट के लिए इसको कुछ लगा नहीं, but शिखर पे दिल पे चोट लगी उसको.
I think Shikhar had another World Cup in him.
I also agree.
He was Mr. ICC 100%. For a reason.
But having said that, it's India. I mean, we always produce great batsmen. We have the replacements. Gill is there. Jaiswal is upcoming.
Sure.
Gaikwad is in the wing. So we are good, but I feel for Shikhar. I love you, Shikhar. Love the reels, love the content.
I like this positive behavior where you all address Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan.
All of them are watching.
Right.
वो लोग मैच मतलब like after the West Indies जब बारिश हो रही थी तब यही देखते.
Projector पे यही लगा के देखते.
Correct.
Right.
So what do you guys think? What does West Indies need to get right so that they start performing well, start qualifying, start beating the tough teams.
I mean, my first thought on that, I was going to say that they also have supposed financial issues. Like the
Yes.
country's economy in general is not as flourishing so as to pump the required amount of money into the cricket team. Because of which I feel like a lot of players have complained about bad pitches to practice on, not enough equipment to practice with. But devil's advocate to that is the fact that Zimbabwe with minimal resources somehow managed to do what they did in the qualifiers this year. So like
I think all the teams, Netherlands, Ireland, all
Yeah,
of them have
exactly,
lesser resources
exactly.
than West Indies does. Yeah. I think like for them, right, like you said, they're at rock bottom, and that's the good thing about rock bottom because
only way out.
the only way is up. So whatever little money you are making right now, whatever, just put all of it into domestic cricket. Just invest it over there, get new talent, groom them, think about what you're going to do long term, 5-10 years down the line, not about what you're going to do next year. So do that, invest in your domestic players and like start building a more transparent structure, right? Like you see someone like Rahul Dravid or Saurav Ganguly who do so well for their nation and then come back in good roles in BCCI to govern the cricketing body. You don't see anyone in West Indies doing that. Where's Bravo? Where's Gale? They just don't want to go back
disagree
to
a bit
their
here
role.
because I think Samuel Badri is there with the team. I remember Kyron Pollard like coming back, leading West Indies as captain once he was, I think,
He was an
thinking about.
exception.
Yeah, but
He was an
I still feel West Indies have the resources, they have the talent. They just need to play more and back themselves. Again, I urge the fans. Like I was watching India versus West
empty
Indies.
stadium.
Empty stadium. Come on, I think Canadian Premier League must have more fans than
Yeah.
Look, come out, support your players, support your team, support your national side. Enjoy cricket, right? I mean that's also going to be a contributing factor as to how your team plays, right? I mean, it's okay if we lose, right? It's disheartening, I get it. Just to give you an example, look at RCB, right? I mean, they barely win anything. Forget winning the cup. I mean, still Chinnaswamy is completely packed.
Yeah.
So just come out in numbers, support your team, and I'm quite sure the little things they have the resources, they have the talent. If they just get the little things right, I wouldn't be shocked if they beat India, Pakistan, Australia.
They
the top
are a
teams.
cricketing superpower and
For sure.
they can become the best when they choose to be the best. I feel like it's probably now just a matter of mentality and how badly they want it, and we could probably be in for the biggest comeback we have seen of a team in a long time.
Hopefully.
Yeah, like West Indian cricket is exciting to watch, to say the least.
Definitely.
So-
You have so many players. Yeah, I can name more players like Evan Lewis, then you have Akil Hussain, so many cricketers who I feel, okay, this guy is a potential star. Like, this guy has some X factor in him.
Yeah.
You see Hetty, you see Puran. India or any other country, you barely see such talent. I mean, do we see such free hitters? Maybe, we can come up with Rohit. He has great shot selection, can hit sixes for, I mean, hitting sixes is like a pass by for him. But yeah, again, look,
I'm gonna edit this and replay it again and again.
okay, we can do that. But yeah, these guys are really good. I mean, as I've again time and again said, just getting the little things right, and West Indies will be back on top, I feel.
100%.
Yeah. I honestly, okay, little things, yeah, but I feel like they need a major shift with their cricket board. Because if things are not okay with the governing body, it's not going to come down to the team. Like, we lost a red ball captain like Virat Kohli because of issues that happened with the cricketing bodies. And it's the same thing with West Indies. Like, I refuse to believe you have people like Hetmaya and all waiting in the wings and they don't make it to your squad. You don't have Andre Russell, you don't have Sunil, and they haven't retired. So right now they might not be in their prime, but at some point they were. And even getting players like that is just adding value to your team, right? Like experience in the dressing room.
I want to see Bravo in the dressing room. Like, I want to see him do for West Indies what he's doing for CSK currently. Like, just sit there and teach them how to bowl deceptive slow balls and make it a very boring match but somehow still win it.
Also with Pollard, right? I don't want him to go and play Major League Cricket anymore, right? I mean, sure, franchise cricket.
Don't hate on Major League cricket.
Okay, hold on. Look, see,
It's very exciting. Okay, class.
It is exciting. It is exciting, but again, it's very disheartening to see such players like Akil Hussain not play Test cricket and go and play franchise cricket. Again, it's a different topic altogether. How franchise cricket is really destroying cricket. That we'll leave for another day. But yeah, we want some, I think.
No, but I guess at the end of the day, you can always draw it back to financial issues. Like franchise cricket, they must be like simply from the IPL, the best of the best must be getting paid like what, £1 million per season or something, in and around that ballpark, and then they go everywhere else and they get how much ever money. So I can understand why they choose to play franchise cricket, but for them to come back as a national side, it's going to require a big shift, and I'm excited to see it happen.
Yep, same here. Very hopeful for next year. I think they are top contenders, at least when it comes to T20. They can win any game. These guys can definitely win any game. So yeah, hopeful for that.
You're still hoping we at least get to see them play next.
Yeah, man. Just as a cricket fan, I want to see them perform well. Like, I'm not even a West Indies fan or anything, but just as a cricket fan, I want to see them do it.
And did we follow the test series?
Of course we did.
We did. Of course we did.
मैं बोला ये ऑफिस में बैठ के सिर्फ क्रिकेट देखता है, कुछ काम हम नहीं करता है.
I mean, I can multitask, so yeah, I have watched a lot of test cricket.
So what do we feel about it? At least like the first test match, which got over in 3 days. I was honestly super bored watching it. I was like, when is the next Ashes test going to start?
I mean, I think everyone was bored before it even started.
Yeah.
Like there was no doubt of what the result was going to be. It was always a question of whether rain will play spoil sport or not, which it did in the second game.
One, yeah.
So boring, yes, but I think we got a couple of great moments from both the matches. Like to see Yashasvi on debut do what he did in the fashion that he did is spectacular. Like.
Yeah, and again, I think West Indies didn't bat well enough in the first innings.
Of course.
I think there is already a lot of pressure on the big names like Craig Brathwaite, then you have Blackwood, then there is Jason Holder. A lot of pressure on the big names, but I think one person, although it was boring, was the standout in West Indies cricket was their debutant, Alec Alcaraz. That player, that left-hander, that debutant player.
And Cornwall.
Him and Cornwall.
I
have not seen spin like that in a long time. Like मेरे को विश्वास नहीं हो रहा था बॉल इधर से इधर जा रहा था.
Right, and I mean, it was good to see that, West Indies still has that talent, like he coming in the middle order and stitching a partnership, being the highest run scorer in the first innings. It was something really good to see. They didn't bat well enough. Again, some brilliance from India as well. I think the catch that Siraj took, day one, that was an exceptional catch to get Blackwood out.
Go RCB.
Yep, and again,
he's a great clip this.
Go RCB.
And again, when we talk about a big partnership, that didn't come along well for West Indies. I think had one or two players, either of the openers played a bit longer, things could have been different. But
given India's bowling lineup compared to West Indies batting lineup, I think that was always bound to happen. If anything, I feel like we took a little longer than we should have to get them all out, like in the respective innings.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that because look, West Indies is again missing their key batsman, right? So I was just doing some research. I think against South Africa, we had Kyle Mayers and Roston Chase play. And those two are like, at least Roston Chase is an experienced West Indies player.
Yeah, and Myers is like the X factor. He's like the Rishabh Pant in your team.
Or a Johnny Bairstow or anybody who comes down the order and backs, right? So again, they have the players. Again, they didn't bat well enough, and I think on day one when you score around 130, 140, you're not really going to come back in the test.
I mean, if you put Ash and Jadeja in front of them, then...
And the ball doing what it was doing, like off the ground, like ridiculous.
Yep.
But like I said, I think boring test series overall. Good start to our cycle. I guess it would have been great if we would have won the second test match.
Right.
Good for our World Test Championship.
Yeah, good for our World Test.
And I really don't think so. The win would have been so comprehensive had West Indies not dropped so many catches. It was ridiculous. In the first innings when I think Virat Kohli scored around 76 or 77, 70 odd. He was dropped twice. One by Brathwaite, one by I think the keeper. Then I think there was dropped by Mackenzie. There was a drop by
Rohit Sharma was dropped twice.
Exactly, that was
multiple players. I think. Multiple
Yeah,
players
Rohit was dropped twice in the second test match, I think.
Yeah.
There were so many dropped catches. I think I remember two Mackenzie dropped, one Shannon Gabriel dropped, and those were sitters. Come on, look, if you have to, give a fight to such teams, catches win matches. You cannot afford to give a player like Rohit Sharma, a player like Virat Kohli a second life, right? You need to get these people out, and dropping about 7 to 8 catches in a span of 7 to 8 days of cricket is no joke. India just dropped one. Another, I think it was Yashasvi at short leg. Again,
It's a tough chance.
Tough chance, always a tough chance. But West Indies have dropped sitters. I think had they taken those catches, the game wouldn't have looked so one-sided, is what I feel.
Good for us though.
Yeah,
Good for us.
good for us.
Also the reviews, like I feel like they used up all their reviews pretty soon. Like a lot of times later they did get Jaiswal.
Full out, yeah.
He was out and the umpire didn't give it and they couldn't review it.
Speaking of reviews, I have to say, I think in the second test match, I saw one of the most atrocious reviews I have seen in a long, long time. I don't know what Ishan Kishan was thinking when he asked Rohit to take that review, because as soon as they showed it on the big screen, he had such a big grin on his face. He was like, Rohit bhaiya pakka marenge mere ko aaj.
I think Ishan Kishan was just playing that test match to enjoy himself.
He was having fun.
Yeah, my friend literally messaged me saying, Kishan, the podcast was here because you could hear everything he said on the stump.
Yeah. Oh, Stump mic was excellent.
It was great fun.
Lot of fun.
It was great fun.
Especially when, who was it? I think it was Shubman was talking to Kishan. And
The shirt one.
yeah, he asked him to lick sweat or something. I don't know what.
Yeah.
They're like good friends and also it's okay, but I don't know what was going on. And
Shubman was fielding and he was dancing, and then Kishan was like, "Arey Shubman, tu abhi ye kar raha hai, वापस पे Rohit भैया देखो
गाली दे।
Something like that. They were doing their own thing, both of them.
Yeah, good to see them have fun. Also, so two positives for India. Although I'm not a fan of the second one as much. The first one, like I said, being Yashasvi Jaiswal. What a player! What a
Definitely.
मजा आ गया देख के.
I think left-handers are gifted by God. I just love to see left-handers cut over point, sweep. Jaiswal has all the shots.
Left-handers cheat code in cricket.
Yeah, I mean, he can sweep, he can drive, he can
Pace off and
ball
bat.
really
Yeah, कुछ.
Jaiswal has a lot of things going for him, and although he got lucky, he was going to get out on 130 again.
Yeah, but
still
130. Yeah, I mean,
and he's barely played any first class matches before he got his test debut.
Yeah, I was watching, my sister was sitting, who doesn't watch cricket at all, she was sitting next to me. She said, how old is this guy? I was like, oh, he must be our age, like 20.
Definitely young.
I went and looked it up, he's 21.
Yeah, he's 21. He's and barely played like anything. Like even when Rajasthan picked him up, he had barely played.
Old and unsuccessful guys, that's what we are.
नहीं, but future star है यार वो तो India.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so his story also very heartwarming, and then Mukesh Kumar's story.
Yeah.
Also very heartwarming, but I personally am not a big fan of his inclusion in the team. I feel like there are better prospects to.
Yeah, like I just feel Arshdeep is a big miss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Arshdeep,
But I don't know whether he chose to play county. Yeah, he was not selected, which is why he was playing county. I'm not sure what the timeline of that was.
If you give him a test call up, he's definitely
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he would.
I agree.
Yeah, but it's okay. Like I'd rather have him stay in county for a few days and do his thing, and then come back for the more important matches in December.
And I don't know why this is the case. They don't tend to play more than one left arm seamer, and I think
we need a left arm seamer.
I think Unatkar did play. He didn't pick up the wickets, but he did deserve his call.
Yeah, no,
I mean, he was really good.
He did.
The domestic season that he's had, he definitely deserved a call.
But again, the point is, I think Arshdeep at least should have been there in the squad.
Yeah, not only is he young, he brings at least 6-7 kilometers more of pace in his bowling, brings a bigger variety. Left arm, like you said, is a cheat code in cricket, especially away from right-handers. Mukesh Kumar, great story, good player, nothing against him.
And did play well.
Yeah.
No doubt. I think he was really good over the wicket, getting the ball to nip back into the right-handers. He did bowl well, right? But
अभी long term सोच रहे हो तो you might as well get there.
And I think Arshdeep was almost there, right? I mean, he was so impressive in the World Cup. He gets the ball to move. You have to, groom such players.
Yeah.
And talking about an interesting point, right? Pace. I think both West Indies and India didn't have good pace bowlers, barring I think one player that has impressed me the most, Shannon Gabriel. That man is 35. He was coming in and bowling at 148.
Runs like a tank, dude.
He does give me those vibes of those 80s long fast bowlers.
Vintage West Indies.
Yeah, Shannon Gabriel really bowled well, really quick. Alzari Joseph, again I think he's the player for the future for West Indies. He bowled really well.
Shout out to Mumbai for grooming him, by the way. That 5-wicket haul will always shape his career.
He's gonna cry.
And then drop him. I thought Mumbai used to, really groom players, keep them for a longer duration, but then drop
But
him.
his experience counts.
He got
He's
injured,
enough
yeah.
IPL.
And one player I'm kind of disheartened to see is Kemar Roach. I mean, that guy, at least a decade back, used to bowl 150. And this test series, he was bowling mid 120s. Again, not great to see. He did bowl well with the new ball. I will give it to him. He was really good. But yeah, I mean, West Indies, barring Shannon Gabriel, he played one test match. He had that searing pace, and Alzari Joseph looked pretty off. Holder again looked good only in the second test against Jaiswal coming over the wicket, and he bowled really well. But as a bowling unit, I think West Indies did not bowl really well. They did not stick to their plans, and had their fielders taken their catches, at least the second test would have come to a conclusion, or we would have said, okay, this is a good contest and not so one-sided, right? So yeah, West Indies need to get their bowling sorted. They need to take it, because again, Kemar Roach is 35, Gabriel is 35. Only Joseph is the one who looks like the player for the future.
Yeah.
Right. So they need to groom their players, bring in quality fast bowlers, and I think that's the quality that even India lacks. Right. Which bowler bowls above 140 today in India? And for top teams like Australia, all 5 bowlers or all 4 fast bowlers bowl above 140. Cam Green also clicks 140.
Yeah, and West Indies has that. They have people who bowl fast. They just need to make that transition from domestic cricket to international.
Yeah, and I think they will be good. And not that we are asking for a change, right? I mean, these guys are bowling well, but give those players a chance. Like think about it. Tomorrow, Gabriel or Roach retire. Who do you have? You need to start bringing in players one by one. And yeah, I do see them playing well in the future. They did play well in the second test at least, and I'm much hopeful if they play more test cricket, they will do well.
Yeah, I mean, I always expected it not to be the best series, but I will say that it surpassed my expectations by a little, just because of the little moments that we had, like here and there in both the test matches. Yeah.
Okay, so to conclude, because we've come to this moments topic, tell me your favorite moment. It could be anything. On the pitch, off the pitch, it could be a wicket, a 6, a 4, a catch, it could be anything.
There is a few things that come to mind. I don't know if I have one specific favorite moment, but the few that come to mind, like we discussed earlier, Siraj's catch, Rahane's catch in the slips.
Oh, lovely!
Absolute
that was a blind, lovely. I think Rahane is a great. I would keep him in the team only for this.
Excellent fielder. Ash's wicket. That ball that turned, I don't know what, it looked like freaking 180 degrees, I don't know how much it turned, but beautiful wicket. It looked like the ghost of Shane Warne had taken over him and he gave the magic delivery or something. I think that...
Rajasthan Royals effect.
Yes, correct. That, a lot of the stump mic moments, I found it very cute when Virat met...
I was going to say that. It was my favorite moment. Like all the test match, everything aside, what a lovely moment when he met Joshua's mother. And even the conversation that Virat had with Joshua when he was skiing.
It just reminds you of why you love the game so much, and I feel is an indication of how some players have transcended the game. मतलब अगर तुम किसी और देश में बैठे हो, वहाँ की ऑडियंस तुम्हें सपोर्ट कर रही है. They are not supporting their home team. They are there to support Virat Kohli. There are people sitting in the stands, very few people in the first place, but the ones who are there are cheering, supporting, and they are there to see Virat score a century. I think that is the beauty of some of these players, and is a good reminder of why we love the sport and why we love some of these specific players so much.
Yeah. And her son was in the playing 11.
Yeah.
And she told him, I've come here to watch Virat play. And he's like, Virat, please get your century. My mother is sitting in the stands.
And he did?
Yeah, he did.
What a great century, finally.
Love it. And the video where like she's kissing him and then she gets emotional. I love it.
Yeah, I think some really great moments from the test match. I think I wouldn't call it a moment, but for me the standout would be the kid Alec Alcaraz playing, getting Rohit Sharma out. That kid really showed some good talent, right? Coming in the middle when West Indies is in pressure, he batted with a very cool head, batted really well, bowled well. I think he did chip in with the ball really well. He had good consistent line and length, at least better than Warwick. I think Warwick was a bit off. He barely got his line and length right. But again, these cricketers are new. But I was really happy to see West Indies come up with this talent when their big player names like Roston Chase, Kyle Myers are really missing.
Yeah.
And even the ones that are in the team are not performing that well.
Right. So yeah, again, they need to get the little things right. They need to contribute more with the bat. I don't think so. They have that much depth in their team.
They're going to have to build ground up again.
Yeah.
Yep. And
start from scratch.
yeah, and give people the rope. Give your team members a good rope. I mean, don't chop and change too much. Invest in such talent, right? If you've seen somebody play, give them the rope. And again, play more test cricket. I feel just playing 2-match test series is not going to help. Right? I mean, just going 2 matches, one match was almost washed out.
Hopefully, I mean, with the amount of eyes now coming to cricket in the United States, in North America in general, like with MLC and teams going and playing in like places like Barbados and West Indies and everywhere, there should hopefully be more eyes on the sport, and hopefully that inspires more people to play the sport, which in result will give us better cricket.
Yep. They definitely have everything they need, to bounce back. We can see a really good resurgence from West Indies in the near future for sure.
Exciting times ahead for them.
Excited times ahead for them.
They will come back. And then we'll have another episode where we'll be like, the rise of West Indies cricket.
I'm already waiting for that. So yeah.
Good episode, guys. Good talk.
But what do we have before we go? What do we have, like what is upcoming in cricket now? Are we, like, what can we look forward to?
The
Ashes is done and dusted,
the
unfortunately.
ODIs and the T20Is. That would be good to watch.
Yeah,
and crowds again in this stadium. Like, I want to see the crowd that comes in US to watch West Indies and India. And for India, it might be like a regular thing because stadium to har jagah full ho jate hain wherever they play. I don't think West Indies has played in a very crowd-driven stadium in a very long time. Like the international team, not the leagues.
Yeah.
So I hope that works for them.
Any higher forces that are watching this, please, but in बच्चों की तमन्नाएं पूरी कर दो, हमें इंडिया पाकिस्तान के tickets दिला दो, please. Send us to Ahmedabad to watch the match.
Send us passes. And
You don't need to arrange hotel stay also. वो देख लेंगे, रास्ते में सो जाएंगे. But बस match की ticket भिजवा लो.
I think it's time to make a prediction for the upcoming ODI series, India versus West Indies. I predict West Indies winning the series.
The ODI series.
The ODI series. They have the players.
Bolt.
They have the players. They can win it. I'm quite sure people might say, okay, they lost qualifiers of the World Cup. You're saying they're going to win.
I mean, more reason for them to play better, but I
Yeah.
think we'll win 4-1. We as an India will
I
win.
was just,
Isn't it a 3-match series?
It's a 5
No,
match
it's a
series.
5-match.
5-match ODIs and 3 T20s, is it?
I'm not sure.
No, 3 ODIs and 5.
अच्छा 5 match बाकी हैं total में.
So we're playing 3 ODIs.
अच्छा okay. Then I think we'll win 3-0.
I predict we're going to win. West Indies is going to win 2-1.
I think
I'm quite hopeful they're gonna do well.
we might win 2-1.
As long as the outfields are not as heavy as they were, because I feel like जो भी ground shot जा रहा था, everything should have been a 4, but it stopped at 2 runs because the ball didn't travel. As long as that's not the case, I think we win 3-0.
Right, stay tuned to see more content from.
अरे वाह, हाँ करो outro करो.
Do it was a good outro.
Stay tuned, guys, to see more content from Off the Pitch. I know you guys love me, so stay tuned to watch more content from.
And we're gonna come back next week with an Ashes episode. And we're gonna do. You were both supporting England, na? This Ashes.
No, I never supported you.
I
You were
always
cheering
support.
for
No, but I don't support either team. I wanted a draw.
Hey, tough to support.
ये क्या? You
I
want 5
wanted-
test matches for a draw.
I wanted worst possible outcome for both cricketing nations.
I'm an Aussie supporter.
Just watching it for the sport. I
Yes.
mean, good cricket. I
Only
think.
for chaos.
Only for chaos.
अपना क्या लेना देना.
I think that's definitely going to be a longer episode. So we will come back with the Ashes episode next week. Till then, thank you for watching. Like, comment, tell us what you think about West Indies, and who do you think
Do
is
subscribe. Do subscribe both their channels. Support them.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Bye.